Hello, friends. So good to be with you this evening. I wanted to just come and spend a couple of moments with you. I have my grandpa cup, one of the greatest treasures of my life. Having a cup of coffee, please join with me. I wanted to talk to you about something tonight that I think is very important to you because it really depicts where you're going, and especially in this day and time. I want to talk to you for just a couple of moments about honor. The importance of honor in your life. You know, this is something that I think is very tragic that people live a life without honor. It's a life that's wasted. But I know that there are people who complain about it, people who dishonor the flag and dishonor America. You know, I've heard statements made, America was never great, and I'm thinking, you know, how dishonorable to say something like that. You draw from the country, you nurse off of the country, you feed off of the country. It protects you, it covers you, it gives you an identity, it gives you a position, it gives you a connection to the world to help people, and then to dishonor it by discrediting it. See, when you dishonor something, you place it in a position that is lower than it actually should be. Now that's a very important thing because honor, listen to me, is huge. It's the destination for our life. If we don't understand honor, then we really don't understand purpose, or we don't understand where we're going. The desire for every man and every woman is honor. It's very important that you understand that. Honor is the destination of every person. And the Bible talked about it. He said, give honor to whom honor is due. Now see, there are people that need to be honored. And it's important that we recognize the behaviors, the attitudes, the virtues of whatever somebody is doing, and to be sure that we give honor to them. And so again, that's what it says, give honor to whom honor is due. And the reason is that it's more than an acknowledgement of some deed. It really is much more than that. It moves that person into their full purpose and into their full potential. When we see honor in people, when we recognize honor in people, we actually elevate not just what they're doing in their activities, but we are actually elevating virtue. We're elevating the quality to do what's right. And so I think giving honor impacts the person who receives it, but I think it also impacts the person who gives it. Because it says something about you when you can look at someone and show honor to that. And to dishonor is a disgrace. To dishonor something is a shame. To dishonor something is, I don't know. It's just it is one of the worst definitions of a person that I can think of, is to say that they are dishonorable. That's a person whose behavior is beneath the virtues and the qualities of what is right. So honor is the destination for all of us. I really want to encourage you to add that to your prayer list, to add that to your life. I want to reach a place of honor. Every one of you do. There's not one of you that's listening to me right now that you don't desire honor on some level. And I'm not talking about a whole bunch of attention. That's not what I'm talking about. But I'm talking about to do something of quality that draws recognition from someone of virtue. That's the importance of it right there. And so honor is the destination to where we're going. Now, back some time ago, I wrote a book on ethics. Boy, that's a page turner, isn't it? You know, and I've got to explain to you what was more behind it. When I talked about ethics, that's got to be, I looked across, I found a few other books, and that's got to be the most boring thing that I've ever seen literally in my entire life. But I felt like I needed to address several situations, and ethics was a very important part of that. So ethics is something that you do. It's the activities that you have, the decisions that you made. Ethics are basically expressing the virtues that you have. In other words, I do something because my ethics provoke me in that direction, or I don't do something because my ethics will not allow it. Ethics are a very, very important part of your life. And without ethics, I want to say you will never, ever reach a place of honor. If you are not ethical, you will never move into a place of honor. Sooner or later, somewhere down the line, you may get away with it for a little while, but sooner or later, somewhere down the line, your life is going to get tripped up and you're going to be exposed for someone who is dishonorable. And what keeps you on the path is ethics. So ethics basically are the vehicle that takes you to honor. And so you really need to look at it like that. You need to allow yourself, say, I'm making a journey. I'm going to arrive at a life of honor. At the end of my days, it'll be a life of honor. Well, how do I get there? Well, ethics, that's the vehicle that you take to get there. Now, then we come to the issue of integrity. Somebody say, how does that fit in? Well, let me explain integrity like this. Integrity is seen in, let's say, for instance, a ship that's going to be going on a sail. You can take a big ship, small ship, or whatever the case is. When a ship gets caught in a storm, and sometimes the storms are brutal, the waves are treacherous. Those of you that have ever done any study on sailing or on just ships in general, some of the tragedies that have happened during storms. Well, what holds a ship together to get through the storm is the integrity of the ship. In other words, what they're saying is the integrity of the ship held the ship together through the storm until it arrived at its destination. So that applies to your life. Ethics are the vehicle that you take to get there. Integrity holds you together when all hell comes against you. But the destination of both of them is honor. See, I'm not trying to have ethics just for the sake of rule keeping. I mean, who wants to do that? I don't want to do it. I mean, good gracious, if that's all we're doing is just rule keeping and that's it, well, you might be a Pharisee or something on that order, but good gracious, life is much more than just that. I mean, have you ever been around somebody who they're just, they're what I call, they were potty trained at gunpoint. They know every T that has to be crossed, I that has to be dotted, and if you don't do it, you've got hell to pay. Well, that would be the idea of just having ethics without having a destination. So the destination for all that you do is honor. And if you have ethics and if you have integrity, it cannot help but take you to a place of honor. And that's where you want to be. So if you're wanting that, there's some people, they've got their life so goofed up that it's very difficult for them to even manage anything. I'm seriously, it's like they're a train wreck constantly. But if you want to change that, if you really want to set your life on a path that at the end of your days is a life of honor, and believe me, that's a treasured position. And a lot of people have missed it. A lot of people have failed in becoming the person of honor that they were intended to be. And quite honestly, if you're not a person of honor, you will not draw to you the benefits and the blessings of life. You won't. To be dishonorable means that you can't be trusted. And when you can't be trusted, people are not going to turn the value of their treasure into your hands. I'm not doing business with you. You can't be trusted. You're dishonorable. So you want to be honorable, and if you want to reach that place, and it doesn't take terribly long to get there, it really doesn't. But what you start with your ethics. That's your behavior. That's the vehicle that you get in. It frames up what you do and why you do it. I can't do that. That would be unethical. I can't do anything that would take advantage of someone else. And actually, the motivation for ethics, if you really want to see a pure heart, the motivation for ethics would be love. When people get out of love, they take advantage of someone and they become unethical. In other words, when they get out of love and they start taking advantage of someone, you don't know what they're going to do. You better not make a business deal with them, because you most likely will not come back with any money in your pocket. And they mean well. Well, I didn't mean to. I just got in a bad situation. Well, and there's a 1,001 excuses as to why they do what they do. But that's somebody that is unethical. But ethics takes you someplace. Poor ethics or bad ethics will take you to ruin. Being ethical and having ethics that are based on the foundation of love, that will take you someplace. It will take you to honor. And again, integrity is whenever I hit a storm, when everything breaks out against me, and I'm thinking, dear Lord, I don't see how I'm going to make it. My integrity makes me keep my word. See, my ethics will say, keep your word, but my integrity will make me keep my word. If I'm a man of integrity, it will make me keep my word, even if it costs me something. It used to be that people gave their word about things, and when they gave their word about things, but I'm just telling you something, it was going to happen. When they shook hands with you, they didn't need a contract. They didn't need 3 lawyers. They didn't need your signature signed in blood. When you shook hands and you gave your word, period. That was it. That was the end of the conversation. So you have to understand that when we get out of proper ethics, it takes us to ruin. But whenever you develop proper ethics that are based on love, ethics take you someplace. It's a vehicle. You cannot help but arrive at a destination through your ethics, through what you do. Some of you right now, you need to recount your day, your life. Are you a person that is predictable, unpredictable? Are you a person who keeps their word? Are you a person that's always late? Are you a person that can't be depended on? Are you a person who's always the same? Or what kind of person are you? How has your behaviors, which is your ethics, how has that shaped the character of who you are? Because you are what you do in that sense. You're not what you say in this context. From the standpoint of ethics, you are what you do. And it's not just that you say, I'm an ethical person. People are watching what you do. Well, it's more than that. They don't just watch what you do. They feel the effects of what you do, because what you do has an impact on them and on their life. And so you have to understand the importance of ethics, of integrity, of honor, because it doesn't just stay with you. The very definition of ethics, of integrity, of honor points to the fact that other people are involved. In other words, people around you are going to be affected. All 3 of those things are an action word. That's something that's inclusive of another person. That's not a solitary game. That's a game where other people are not just involved, but other people are affected by what you do. And it's there. You can't help it. The Bible talks about you being part of a body. Well, you're part of a community. You're part of a family. Every one of those words imply not just that you're a part of people, but the fact that you're connected to people to the point that what you do impacts them in a very positive way or a very negative way. I have done enough counseling with people over the years, and it's incredible to me how many of them say, when I was a child, this happened to me. It was the behavior of somebody else that literally defined their life from childhood to adulthood. It defined who they were. So you have to understand that what you do impacts other people. And you're going to have to make the decision what kind of ethics you're going to live by. Are you going to live by something that's honorable? Or are you going to live by something that's dishonorable? It's just, and can I just say this to you? All dishonorable decisions are based on selfishness. All of them. They're based on selfishness. Whereas all other ethical motivations are based on love. Isn't it amazing? Love and selfishness, that's the two great forces in life. It really is. We may dress it up and call it different things, but that's the motivation for all that we do. And when we get into selfishness, we're going to take advantage of somebody. When you become selfish, you're going to hurt somebody. I'm just telling you. When you begin to walk in love, you're going to serve somebody. You're going to give of yourself to somebody. Well, what about me? Well, what about me? Well, see, that's fine when you were an adolescent. But as you grow and mature, that doesn't fit your life anymore, does it? So it's very important that you make the decision today to embrace, maybe decide, what are the ethics that define your life? What are the things you will do, and what are the things that you won't do? I won't do that. I'm not going there. I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to do that. I don't want anyone to see me. Why wouldn't you want anybody to see you? Because I don't want somebody else to be affected by what I do. There's a lot of things I probably, that's more lawful for me. But it's kind of like Paul said, all things are lawful, but all things aren't expedient. There's a lot of things that I could probably do and not feel too bad about it. But the fact is, because people are involved, that hinders me from doing, being, going, because you're important. You're more important than my liberty. You see what I'm saying? What happens to you is more important than my right to get to do or not do whatever. And so when I begin to have that mindset, I build my ethics or my behavior around that. And that is taking me somewhere. Now, you take other people that says, I don't care what you say, I'm going to get mine. You can go fall off the ends of the earth as far as I'm concerned. That is also, they're building a framework for their life that is taking them somewhere. So that's very important, how ethics work in your life. And again, when you begin to look at something like integrity makes me stand behind it. Integrity makes me keep my word when the wind's blowing against me. Integrity makes me do what's right when I don't want to do what's right. You know what I'm saying? Do you have the integrity to sustain you when the storms of life blow against you? And then when you have that, though, the destination, the final destination is honor. And honor is so, so, so important. Your life will never expand beyond the boundaries of your honor. It won't. People want to be in a relationship with, or they want to avoid you because of honor or a lack of it. Now, where do you want to go in life? I guess that's a real question. Can I just say this to you? You will not be welcome there without honor. You won't be. Honor is currency. It's what it is. Honor is currency. And our goal isn't merely, again, just to have a code of ethics for the sake of rule keeping. That's simply not it. My goal is to finish my journey in a position where honor is paramount. I want to live a life of honor. And I'm not saying being perfect, but I want to be honorable. I'm not saying to never make a mistake. We all have the potential of missing the mark. But the honorable person is seen in what they do when they get clipped by that. And I think as we explore how this is all connected, you're going to see kind of a deeper purpose behind the pursuit of ethics and beyond the pursuit of integrity. And it will bring a sense of purpose to those words like virtue and ethics and integrity. But that's a part of your life, and that's something that you desperately need if you're going to move forward. Ethics are essential. Ethics are seen everywhere. Ethics are seen in the gang, and ethics are seen in the king's house. Ethics rule. It just is. It's going to take you someplace. So why don't you make some decisions right now to shape your life by making decisions what your boundaries are. Allow the ethics to begin to etch within your soul the things that you will stand by no matter what comes. This is what I am. This defines me. This, I don't talk about other people. You ever see someone who can't keep their mouth shut? They can't. And they're just gossipers, busybodies. But it takes a decision. It takes a decision in advance when you really want to say something. I see a lot of people on Facebook. I'm thinking, dear God, someone needs to tackle them, because they just get on Facebook and they say things they would never say if they were face to face with a person. And they open the door to dishonor because they paint themselves into an area of compromise. And it's a terrible thing. Make the decision now of what you will and won't do, because God has plans for you, but a lack of honor, or rather, a lack of honor, a lack of integrity, a lack of ethics will abort the purpose in your life. And you'll live your life through, but you'll never live it like you were intended to. And you are called to much more than that. So make that decision now and be a part of it. Hey, listen, thank you for joining with me. This was just a thought that was just on my heart that I just felt like I just needed to talk to you about. And especially as we're at this point of election, there are people that are misbehaving. They just are. They're spouting their mouth off. They're saying things that they shouldn't say. You say, well, I've got a right to say it. Well, there's a lot of things that we may have a right to say that we don't need to be saying. And the reason is because it's not just to make us feel better. The bottom line is our behavior affects people around us. And we are better than that. So come on, pull yourself together, determine who you are, what you believe, and then really embrace the integrity that holds you together when everything else is coming against you. All right? I love you guys. Thank you for joining with me today. I really do appreciate this. I'd like for you to please push like and push share, because there's a lot of people, they just need, and I'm not saying people don't know this, but sometimes people need to be reminded concerning their behavior, how they act. And because they can't figure, it seems like every time I get started with my business, I come to this point and then boom, it falls apart. Really? All I've got to say is there might be a deeper problem there than what you understand. But I promise it's almost always going to be found in your ethics, in your integrity, and in your honor. I love you guys. Please go to my website, jerryedmon.com. Also go to my YouTube channel, and I've got a lot of teachings there, just a lot of good things that I think will really help you. But I love you guys. Thank you for your friendship. Thank you. Thank you for those of you that have stood with me and supported me and have just been my friend. I value that more than I could ever say. And I look forward to seeing you. If I don't see you before then, I'll plan on being back tomorrow. And we're going to have a great, great week. All right. God bless you. Bye-bye.